The opposition NDC has described the current voters' register as unfit for this year's presidential and parliamentary elections. The party is alleging that the Electoral Commission is deliberately transferring voters without their consent. At a meeting with the election management body, the representatives of the party demanded a forensic audit of the voters' register. An earlier request for a live telecast of the meeting was declined by the Electoral Commission. Here is Director of Elections and IT of the opposition NDC, Dr. Omane Boama, speaking to the media after the meeting with the Electoral Commission earlier today.
A forensic audit has been occasioned before, prior to the 2012 elections. This is not the first time a forensic audit is being asked for. And we are very, very sure that the EC will listen. They are saying they continue to work. They are saying that they've corrected some of the errors. But how do we trust the very doctor who created a complication if that doctor says, I'm fixing the problem? You may fix it, but how do we trust that you have fixed it? Transparent, peaceful elections, fair elections must be anchored in trust. And that trust will only be based on the evidence that the register is fit for purpose. As we speak now, the voters' register is unfit for purpose. If the following election you are compiling transfer list, my name should not be on the transfer list. What has happened is that we have over 200,000. Look, development partners are interested in chipping in here and there for such an audit to take place. It is obvious, abundantly obvious, that the NDC has the capacity to assist. And we are saying that you can bring experts from the various political parties. Come along and let's put another expert, supra, on them. Doesn't take away the fact that a forensic audit is what it will take to assure Ghanaians. Because we have listed these as problems. Ask yourself, if the Electoral Commission could do it, how come we are seeing this level of decay in the data management? We have our own suspicions about what could lead to such dislodgements of the data, but we don't want to be judgmental.
And meanwhile, scores of supporters of the National Democratic Congress massed up at the headquarters of the Electoral Commission as the electoral management body held a crunch meeting with the opposition party. Here is Greater Accra Regional Organizer of the NDC, Anthony Nupenu, speaking to the media.
I am a political party leader, and anything that concerns us, our support base will also like to know what is going on. So they come here is also to show solidarity to the leadership. That's why some of us are out there to be able to coordinate them so that no one comes to harass them. We are not criminals. These are party people, these are Ghanaians, these are voters who are concerned with what is they are hearing in the news, and hearing that the leadership and the EC is meeting today. They believe that coming here to show solidarity is the way to.
Now, still on the NDC, the National Democratic Congress has annulled the Mamphi Central Parliamentary Primary that was conducted on May 13, 2023. The party, in a statement signed and issued by its General Secretary Fifi Kwete on Thursday, noted that the election has been the subject of litigation at the High Court in 2nd D. Mr. Kwete noted that the Functional Executive Committee of the party, at its meeting on Tuesday, September 3, 2024, therefore decided to annul the election and rerun same. Nominations will be opened on Friday, September 6, 2024, and will be filed on Saturday, September 7, 2024. Vetting and appeal will also take place on Saturday, and the election will be held on Sunday, September 8, 2024. Well, let's stay on these issues regarding the NDC. I'm joined in studio by Dr. Rashid Tanko. He's the Deputy Director of the Elections of the NDC. Joins us for more on this. Good evening to you, Dr. Tanko. It's good to have you in studio again this evening. Now, first of all, to briefly touch on this annulment of the Mamphi Central parliamentary primaries, clarify why exactly, specifically, the decision was taken to have it annulled.
Let me say good evening to your cherished listeners. Well, you know, like the letter rightly stated, it was a subject of litigation. The High Court over there in Western Region over the conduct of the election that elected Madam Joan, who happens to be our candidate. And the reliefs they were seeking for in the court was that they wanted the election annulled and a rerun conducted because they suspected that the process was not properly done, and that was the reliefs they were looking for. So Functional Executive Committee consider all these things because we tried to resolve it out of court and we find it difficult. We say, okay, since these are what the things they are looking for, we will nullify the elections and then rerun the election, so that we can now have a level playing ground for everybody. So that is why yesterday the General Secretary nullified the elections, and then as we speak now, we opened nomination. About 5 people picked nomination forms. We're expecting that tomorrow they will come and file. When they file by 10 thereabout, we will vet them, and then hopefully by Sunday we'll go there and have the election conducted to have our candidate, so that it solves the problem. The issue of litigation is no more there. So that's the reason behind it.
Okay, so in effect, what does this mean for case in court? It nullifies
it's moot. As soon as the party took the decision to nullify it, then the matter in court is now moot. It doesn't exist again legally.
Okay, very well. So now let's move to the other pressing issue. Today, you held a meeting with the Electoral Commission and you've presented your concerns to the EC. Run us through what key decisions were taken during your meeting with them.
Very well. We had a cordial meeting with them, the Electoral Commission. We presented 5 observations to them that we think are making the register not fit for purpose. Yes, and one of the key observations we did and presented to them. In fact, we did a PowerPoint presentation.
You did mention that.
Thank God, the commissioner herself with her 2 deputies, the director of electoral services and their director of IT, they were all present, and then took time to listen to the issues. Observation 1 was that we observed that voters in 2023 register, but deleted from 2024 provisional register due to transfer. There were voters, we have a category of voters. If you check the 2023 register, they voted all right. They voted for the district assembly. But this current register, you know, don't know whether migrating them, some transfer has occurred in the process. And in the process, their names are taken out completely in the register. So you can't trace them in any of the other layers. That is the exception list, the proxy list, the multiple register. You don't see any of them. Their names have been taken. This accounts to about 3,957 of them. Names.
Okay.
3,950. We demonstrated.
Names,
yes, almost 4,000. We demonstrated it by showing their voter ID cards, their constituencies, where they are coming from, and all that. Then this same group has some other voters too. For them, they registered all right in 2023. They have their voter ID card produced by the Electoral Commission. But this current register, their names cannot be found. It cannot be traced in any part of the register. So we demonstrated that one to
what's
ensure
this figure, approximately?
Yes, that all of them added up to the observation 1. Now, when you come to observation 2,
and we're showing this on screen currently. This is
beautiful,
what you have
beautiful. Beautiful. That is what we have it. Beautiful. Now, if we check the observation 2, you will see that voter transferred to different polling station, but does not exist in absent voters list. You see, as soon as you transfer a voter from one polling station to another, where the transfer is coming from, there's going to be what we call absent voters list. The absent voter list will indicate to us that this number of people have been transferred from this polling station. And so if I see a transfer path where I've seen some number of voters in a particular constituency, then I go to check where they are coming from, and I don't see an absentee voter. It means there's something wrong with that. And that one accounted to about 2,094 of them. Then we have observation 3. Previous transfer illegally added to 2024 transfers. This is where the meat of the matter is.
You say previous transfers.
Illegally
included, illegally added
to the current transfers.
Right.
So what happened is that in 2020, some transfers were done. Now, as soon as you are transferred, you are migrated into the register itself. So if you are transferred from, say, Ayawasu West, and you are transferred to Tamale Central, it means your data is now moved from Ayawasu West into Tamale Central data.
Right.
Okay, so in 2023, that's what it means. Now we have seen that in 2024, the provisional register, these people who were moved like that have still been moved again, presumably from a polling station or constituency to the same polling station that they are,
Right.
thereby increasing
The number.
the number
Very well.
in the register. So this one alone is accounting to 243,000 of them. So when we're talking of bloated, the register is bloated. This is what we are referring to.
This is what you are referring to.
Hi,
right.
because those numbers, they still exist in their polling station. So when you add it up to the current transfer list,
So it's
you are going to
doubled
increase.
of sorts.
That's
right?
something like
Very
that.
well.
So you are increasing the number. So we've demonstrated that one to do. And that one is the observation 3.
Okay.
Then we have observation 4, which has to do with unidentifiable voter transfer path. Because here, when you are transferred, there is a path. And the path indicates that you have transferred from this constituency to this constituency. So the first constituency where you are being transferred from, there is an absentee voters list
Right.
existing there. And then when you are transferred to the new constituency, a transfer list is generated in that constituency to show that these people have transferred their votes to that one.
Right.
Now what we observe is that this category of people, about 15,000 of them, they have moved them. We have seen their name in the absentee voters. But the constituencies where they have transferred them, there is no transfer list there.
So there's no indication of
Indication
their
that-
name in this new constituency.
Yes,
where they-
but they are inside there.
Right.
You check the register and you are seeing some addition of these numbers. And there is no transfer list. So invariably, it has something to similar with the Pusiga incident. So somebody might have sat somewhere, did the transfer, because he know that he cannot produce a transfer list.
Right.
He migrate them into
Right.
the register. So we saw this one, and that's about 15,000 of them.
15,000.
Then the last one was corrupted files. We have
Corrupted
about,
files?
yes, 1,685 files.
that are corrupted.
Yes, and this one we saw it from a secondee. This corrupted files.
Okay.
And then the electoral commission at that point gave us a different one altogether to replace that one. So here we're saying that what if it is repeated in 2024, December? If this thing should happen, what is the guarantee that you won't give us another data? By the time we get closer to the election, you cannot open it to be a corrupted file.
Okay.
And that's all these people are going to be disenfranchised because their data cannot, their QR codes cannot be scanned and all that. So this were the 5 thematic issues that we presented to them.
Right.
And it was very clear. And so based on this, we were asking for the forensic audit.
That gets me, yes, to my next question. I mean, you demand, actually, for this forensic audit of the register. Of course, we earlier had the concerns or the request for a live telecast, which, as we know, the EC did not accept. And now you're pushing for this forensic audit. What if the EC rejects this as well?
Well, our view was very clear because the same electoral commission messed up this data, the one we have identified. We cannot trust that they can do the fixing themselves. Because they themselves admitted in the meeting that, yes, they've realized that their system is vulnerable. Somebody can manage his way into
was
the system.
acknowledged in
Yeah,
the
they
meeting
acknowledged
that
it
we
in the
had with them
meeting.
today, right.
Because that's led to the Pusiga thing, and of which they admitted that yes, by Monday they would have given us comprehensive report about who went into the system. It means anybody who gets hold of a password from them and can get into the system and can manipulate the data that way.
So
we think that with all these admissions and all that, it's proper to have an external body to audit the register so that we all come to a level playing ground. This happened in 2012.
Right. It's not the first
The
time
request, this is
that
not the
this
first time.
request is being
I mean, so this is not the first time there's such a request. And so we're expecting that our opponents will come along with us because they were the first to request for something.
expect your opponents
Yes,
to come along
to
with you
join us in this
for
request for the forensic audit because they did it. They are the first political party to do it
You have
2012.
to make that request.
And so they shouldn't be rubbishing it because we have demonstrated this evidence there clearly. These are their data.
Doesn't grant this?
Well, there are several ways of killing a cat. We have just shown one of our ways of getting it by demonstrating this to them practically, and then we are calling on them. They themselves know, seeing that the issues at stake are so serious. They are not issues that they should just joke with. They've given us their ways. They want to take their time and look at. They have already started cleaning the register, but we don't trust them because these same processes that they were involved led to some names being expunged in the 2023 District Assembly register. So we're very cautious in presenting it, and we'll still push that.
Without this forensic audit, your mistrust of the EC will hold as a party, right? Because you repeat many times, multiple times, that you do not trust the EC moving forward ahead of this election. Without this forensic audit being granted, will the NDC continue to mistrust the
saying,
EC?
yes, we are saying that a credible register is saying conform to a free, fair, transparent election. If you don't have credible register, forget of the election. If you don't have credible
so
register,
if you continue
and that is
to
why we are
view
saying that with this massive
uncredible, what impact would it have on the parties?
With this massive discrepancy we have discovered, do you think this register is credible? Will you allow such a register to be used for elections? They themselves admitted it. Because they've seen that these are serious matters. And they admitted that they have even started cleaning the register since this matter started. They've started trying to resolve their own problem and doing investigation, internal investigation here and there. So if they all agree to this and accepted these anomalies, why don't they want to let us have this external body audit them so that we all come to the same wavelength, have credible register, go into the battlefield. Whoever wins, we accept it. But we cannot have this. And you think that this register. So for now, they've stopped using the word robust, credible register. It's not. You can't have these things in your register and call them robust. It cannot be robust.
Dr. Rashid Tanko, we'd have to wrap it up here.